Over to get it, just get it. Ain't just on me, examine. I speak the truth, I'm a realist. I ain't just dedicated, I'm committed. Pull up white polo, T-palm, Angel Sweat, VVS, baguette. They know our next. Locked down 23 hours, 1 hour wreck. Look at me now, everything. Over to get it, just get it. Ain't just on me, examine. I speak the truth, I'm a realist. I ain't just dedicated, I'm committed. Pull up white polo, T-palm, Angel Sweat, VVS, baguette. They know our next. Locked down 23 hours, 1 hour wreck. Look at me now, everything.
Studios, y'all. I'm Slaughta. Went to bed at 2 a.m. It's a little rough this morning, but you know what? The coffee make all that negative energy back up off me. I got my coffee. The demons, the devils, they're talking about holy water. Coffee. That's that holy water. That's that slaughter water, that coffee. Y'all don't never see me with paper in my hand. Wish I had my clipboard to look more professional, but we're not going to be into what it looked like. I want people to think. I write out this shit like before this is original material, and I wrote it down. And the way it flows, the way I wrote it, I didn't want to butcher it. So I'm going to start the topic off reading my chicken scratch right off the paper. Today's topic, train like it's life or death, because it is. Train like it's life or death. If you quit when it hurts, you're going to quit when you get hurt. If you quit when you feel pain, you will never, ever see the gains. If you quit when it's time to work, and I mean really work, you will never reap the rewards. If you only train your physical and neglect your mental and spiritual, you will lose physically, mentally, and spiritually. If you train all of the above, you'll be above all the rest. You'll be above a lot, but not all. The top is not crowded, but it's not empty either. New levels, new devils. The higher you climb, the harder you have to fight. Even just to breathe. When you get, and I'm talking about coming up in life in them positions, people's attitudes and expectations are different. That's why some people walk in rooms and they choke. They literally can't breathe. They're not used to those sharks, that cutthroat environment. I've heard corporate is more gangster than the streets when it comes to really, closing $1 million and $1 billion deals and hitting that bottom line. New levels, new devils. Some people know what I'm talking about. When you was broke, it was easy. Everything was convenient. People fooled with you more. Starting to climb, Oprah said it. When she was on the bottom climbing, people was clapping, patting on her back. Once she started getting close to their level, they started leaving her alone and getting nervous and stopped giving her advice. Once she passed them, they started to despise her and try to sabotage her. New levels, new devils. So people, again, the top is not overcrowded, but it's not empty. To whom much is given, much is required. And most of us are liars. I'm doing my best. No, you're doing just enough to get by. I'm doing my best. Y'all don't even know what your best is, because you stop every time you touch the tip of your potential. You stop. So a lot of us, seriously, we literally don't even know what our best is. And this, the way society is structured right now, it makes it really tap into. When you go through some stuff, it brings out some stuff, put it that way. If you always being protected and always being enabled, you will never grow those wings strong enough to fly to those altitudes. If you've been spoon-fed, enabled, people making excuses for you, you will never have the muscle it takes to climb that mountain or lift those boulders out of your path. So adversity builds character, people. Struggle builds strength. It's been proven. The truth will set you free or put you in a permanent prison of denial. The truth will set you free. It puts some people in a permanent prison of denial. The truth, the whole truth, nothing but the truth, is what most people fear, ignore, avoid, deflect, and regret. The truth. A lot of us are not where we want to be because we don't deserve it. We haven't earned it. Success. You replicate it, but you haven't earned it. You didn't build it, but you're quick to burn it. What do I mean by that? You didn't build it, but you're quick to burn it. The critics, the haters, it's not the critics that count. It's the person out there in that arena getting scarred up, face marred. That's what it is. What I mean by you didn't help to build it, but you're quick to burn it, someone gets up every day and training their butt off to try to reach a goal. You sitting around just shooting the shit, not doing nothing. But you feel like they should be further than where they are. So you criticizing their efforts and you're not even doing nothing. You didn't help them, you didn't help to build them up to the point where they're at, but you're quick to tear them down. Your spouse, your kids, your partners, your so-called friends, they start shaking and baking and moving and outgrowing you and running circles around you. So all of a sudden, you think it's your job and obligation to pillow talk on this man, to find any flaw you can to magnify. Hey, I know he just got the job as CEO, but did you hear about what he been doing over here on the low? You know he got a side chick, you know he got a chick, blah, blah, blah. You will see that in life because some people, they can't compete with you. Like I have people in my age bracket that do the same things I do, and they copy. They say flattery is one thing. I mean, in training and stuff like that, you should have some originality. They copy a lot of my stuff, but they can't copy their discipline. And when they cannot copy your discipline, they cannot receive the benefits that you get. So they have to come from a different way. And you know, I'm truly, this ain't cliche-ish, I'm honestly appreciative of my haters. I realize you go through everything for a reason. Everything is put on this earth for a reason. You can hate snakes, they're here for some reason. You can hate roaches, they're here for some reason. You can hate bugs. I realize that haters, and I'm back on that shit, haters and master manipulators, they truly bring the best out of me. They really do. Because when a person is that good at shaking and baking and throwing shade on you, you have to have a character so strong that some people will be like, ain't no way in hell to do it. Minding his business all the time, training the way he trained. Something ain't right. Something is not adding up about this guy. And then something I can be guilty of too. We all can be guilty of. Once we know somebody for something, we know somebody for something. If Joe Blow is known for always coming short, always trying to talk your price down, always cheating, if he says 100, you can guarantee it's gonna be 96. If he say he bring you 3 pizzas, you can guarantee it's gonna be 2.5. If he say he gonna be there tomorrow, you can guarantee he's not showing up. Some people, that's what we know them as, so that's what we label them as, is unreliable, pervert, a freak, a master manipulator. But the one thing, even I gotta be honest, sometimes something we don't always account for is the person's growth and development. Usually, and I'm gonna keep it real, I'm not backing off my statement, I'm not, being, double-minded. Usually at a certain age, if a motherfucker's a snake, they're a snake. A snake, a true snake, rarely sheds its skin. And when I'm talking about a metaphorical snake. A lot of zebras just don't change their stripes. If a person has been envious and insecure his whole life, 9 times out of 10, there's still gonna be some of that there. If a person has been confident and controlling, 9 times out of 10, he's gonna be a leader, and those traits will always be there. But we do have to account for something, even me. What if I knew a person 2 years ago that was the biggest piece of shit on the planet, but something happened to them where they've been working to improve themselves. They've been working to get better. They have been doing everything in their power to become a better person. And what if I'm like, oh, you can't fuck with that dude, you can't trust him. 2 years ago, he did this, he did that. I'm not totally wrong. If a snake bit you and your family 2 years ago, Just because time has passed, you're not going to run through a field of snakes. That was 2 years ago. To change their attitude. You still going to be cautious around snakes. It's one thing to be cautious around people, but some of us are not just being cautious. Some of us see the growth and potential and still want to put you in that old jacket when you was a clown and a fool. Some of us see this person is no longer doing that. And human nature, I can't be sure behind closed doors what he's still doing. I've always known him to be shady, so I don't trust him. I do it. People do it to me. But one thing you have to know, F what they think, forget about them. When you're on your mission for self-improvement and to be better, as long as you know yesterday, you can have some people that will not believe that you're not better than a man 10 and 12 years ago. I look at certain people and I can see some apprehension maybe about different things. And I'm like, bro, I sure hope you've grown in the last 12 years and you don't think I have. But again, most people 12 years ago, some of the characteristics are still going to be in place. One of my buddies did 11 years in the pen. Hard time, not the feds, the states. I was shocked at how he came out. I don't know what I was expecting. He came out the same dude. Egotistical, narcissist. If it ain't about him, he don't want to hear about it. If it's about you, it's pretty much foolishness. I'm like, damn, that dude, prison didn't change this dude none. Some of us are who we are. We can add some effects to it. We can tweak it. But that's something I've asked myself. And y'all be like, ain't you a trainer and a master motivator? Yes, I am. But I asked myself this. Can people truly change? And you thinking, Lamb, you're not even sure? Let me tell you something. You can pick up a bad habit of smoking cigarettes, and you can break that habit of smoking cigarettes, but you just picked up a habit and dropped that habit. Can people really change? I know people, no matter what the field, no matter what the venue, no matter what the circumstance or situation, they're going to find a reason to be argumentative. If you say yes, they're going to say no. If you say black, they're going to say white. If you say blue, they're going to say red. There's people that are like that, have been like that, and going to be like that. There's people that can't, they can't take accountability. Everything is always somebody else's fault. Those type of people exist too. And I know people, they were doing it when they was in the 3rd grade, and now they're in their 50s. Everything is somebody else's fault. So I had one of my best friends, one of my truly best friends, not names, that helped me with some literary stuff. I would watch this lady, try to educate her, try to tell her certain things, give her a game on certain issues. And it was almost like it was incapable on stage, and no matter what, she just was who she was. No, if you turn right there, you're gonna hit the curb. Every day she's hitting the curb. If you do this and that, every day, this lady, to this day, I see her train this lady for 3 or 4 years. I can just look across the gym, she still does stuff wrong. Some people are gonna be who they are. And I ask myself, can people really truly change? Usually age, time, a traumatic experience will change a person some. But I truly believe that certain things about our personality and our character will always be there. Some people are going to be loving, caring, and nurturing no matter what. Some people are going to be biased and hypocritical no matter what. Some people are going to be confrontational and they're going to find a mess. It can be total peace. They're going to find some mess. So most people, I believe, never do really change. I believe that. You've heard that saying, once a cheater, always a cheater. I can believe that. It's like they say, once an addict, always an addict. And there's people that stop doing drugs, they still say, I'm an addict, because they have that addict mentality. Once a cheater, always a cheater. Even if you're not cheating, the right opportunity presents itself, your old man nature gonna come out and you're not gonna hesitate. You're gonna pull them to the side and let them go for a ride. Oh, I sound like I'm telling them myself too much, but I'm trying, mama. I'm trying to change. No, but real talk, y'all. So when it comes to training being life or death, I was training Slaughta FiT last night. This also worked with Kyra. Kyra was trying to bench 160 pounds. I'm watching her. It might have been 145 that day. Kyra's trying to bench it, and she failed at it. Kyra's a mother who's, like most mothers, love her kids, very attentive. You don't F with her kids. She failed at this weight 1 or 2 times. I went to spot her. I said, Kyra, I need you to tap into something. I says, I want you to truly trick yourself. Really, really act like it's off your chest to save your kids. Take 2 or 3 minutes, embrace that. If I don't lift this, my kids don't make it. If I lift this, I'll save my kids. I had her tap into that energy, the same weight that she had failed 2 or 3 times that she laid down there and pushed that shit right off her chest because I had her tap into that, treat it like it's life or death, because it really is. So I'm having all of the she loves life, but I don't though. This is just the point is, of course, if you don't lift this 8 or 30 times, of course that's your life right now. What if there's a dope fiend trying to rob y'all with a gun and you get the drop on him and you're trying to pull a gun out of his hand or keeping him from raising it up? What if someone is trying to pull you in their van at Walmart and it's you got to pull to get away from them? I believe, and I know I've said this before, but you know, a lot of y'all don't see every show and I don't say it every show. Training should be taken serious. It should be, you should take your training as serious as life or death. Yesterday, I'm driving, leaving the studio, jump on 20 and Bowen, watch the news. I don't know what happened. This lady on the exit flagging people down like crazy. I can't go back because I didn't exit Cooper and I'm passing Bowen. This man on the feeder of Bowen is laying outside of his car, feet still in the car, flat on his back. He looked dead. I don't know if he had passed out, had a heart attack, or got shot. People, I bring this up, during the 9/11 attack, there was hand-to-hand combat on those planes. They smuggled some sharp plastic in. It was not metal, but it was sharp enough to penetrate. People that jumped on those flights had no idea that they would have to fight for their life. Most people ain't even thinking, I'm going on a business trip to New York. I got to be ready to fight some dude with a sharp object. You don't know what life is going to throw at you these days. In 2023, what are we up to, 500 active shootings already or some crazy shit? You don't know. I know you can't fight a bullet. It just happened recently where someone started busting and the guy was close enough to grab the gunman. You never know when you're going to be close enough if you don't freeze up. You might be close enough to grab the gunman, but guess what? Slaughta FiT, but it's not life or death. Let's say it's one of these 18-year-old teenage boys or whatever. It could be a female shooter. Let's say, Slaughta, if you close enough and he's finna point that gun towards your son, and then you grab the gun and y'all wrestling for it. If you quit when you feel pain in training, you're gonna quit when you feel pain in life. If you quit when it hurts in training, you're gonna quit when you're getting hurt when you're trying to save you or your family. So, the way you do anything is the way you do everything. If you train half-fast, you're gonna fight half-fast. If you quit when it's time to work, you will never reap the rewards. You're gonna always quit. People think, okay, I don't want to be no construction worker. I don't want to do no manual labor. I want to be a rapper. I want to people. That shit, everything is work. If you want to make it to a high level, hours in the studio of the loud-ass music bumping in your ears and you got a headache, and for whatever reason, the shit you were spitting at the house effortlessly is really stumbling out. It ain't coming out right. You're not hitting it right. Now you in your own head about it, just like somebody shooting free throws or throwing interceptions. Now you keep messing up on the same part of the song. Engineers getting mad. You might be paying a pricely hourly rate. Then you go perform. Then you got to go push it. Then you got to go promote. Anything that you do that's worth having on a higher level is going to take some effort and work. If you think you can just become a personal trainer like me and others and just have and kick back and have an easy schedule and snap your fingers and have all this clientele, you're wrong. Don't quit your day job, people. Build your clientele. Have a backup. I'm not gonna say a backup plan because you should believe in your plan wholeheartedly, but put yourself in a position to where you can stack up and buy that restaurant. You can stack up and go start that personal training. For some of us, the calling is so strong you don't have time to stack up. Like April Fool, she just left her 6-figure job to pursue comedy. I understand that. And I'll be honest, I'm just giving what I feel like is the right advice. I was always the type planning, man, it was time to go, I'm jumping out the window. But I got to be honest, that is not the best way to do it. That's one thing about making it to the next level, being honest enough to say, hey, this dude do it better than me, but this is the only way I do it. This is the only way that relates to me. You don't always have to be the best at everything. You don't always have to be better than anybody, but you do have to be the best version of yourself. That's why you should treat your training like it's life or death, because it is. People are dropping dead because of heart attacks, all kind of stuff. Sickle cell, clogged arteries, hypertension, atherosclerosis, arteriosclerosis. People are dying from all kinds of things because they treating their training like, well, it's not life or death. Yes, it is. Everything you do is life or death. It's just drips in a bucket. Sports Illustrated had a scenario of good and bad habits are like drips in a bucket. Cigarettes mixed with that Williams chicken, mixed with that soda you're drinking, mixed with all that stress you're dealing with, and you're not working out, you're not burning off those toxins through working out. So your training or lack of training is life or death, people. Training like me, I pay up for women. I don't know how many females getting ready to take their last breath as some strange man has stalked them and killed them and probably gonna rape them. How many females just wish that they would have took the time to get a firearm and learn how to use it? Would have took their training serious, that I was trying to show them how to use their elbows, how to fight back, how to have that David versus Goliath mentality where I may can win if I fight, but if I freeze, I'm fucked. Training, people, training. You got to train yourself to not fold in the fire. You got to train yourself not to be tense when it's time for battle, but to be loose and relaxed. You have to train yourself. There was a situation recently, definitely not giving no details, about two gentlemen I know that had hand-to-hand combat, some real fight, real deal fight, not to go at the gym. The smaller guy beat the much taller guy, and I wasn't there. I saw the after effects, and I'm like, whoa. And the dude was telling me that the reason why he was able to handle the bigger dude that even came with weapons, over 10,000 hours of training. He said that's all he did. Train. He was like, they didn't do it for weeks and months. When he was stationed in different places, years and years of training. So he was able to handle himself easy. Some are so far behind, but it's okay. Get started today. You're not gonna glean all that knowledge that this dude did, but the more time you waste, the longer it's gonna take to be sufficient enough. And a lot of y'all, we getting older as it is, you don't use it, you lose it. So a lot of us are already getting stiff and can barely walk. And I know, like my homeboy Mister, I don't even think about fighting no more. You can be wasting in life, even how many guns you have. You can still be in a situation where you might have to physically fight. You might have to physically fight yourself out of a ravine that your car went into. You can, with all this February, we're probably gonna get some more ice. I know a dude in tip-top shape slipped on some ice and did some crazy shit. Tore his bicep and tricep, dislocated the shoulder. I didn't even know you can do that from falling on ice. This dude ripped muscle from falling down. Life is a contact sport, people. You got to be ready for it. You got to toughen up. Treat your training like it's life or death, because it is. Anyway, y'all, speaking of which, I got to go get mine. I'm going to go get that money. Happy Flex Friday, everybody. Do not forget, tomorrow, Slamming and Jamming, y'all. Oh, I'm loving that Slamming and Jamming. And, you know, even though this is a Slaughta FiT, you know, we can do our own shit, do what we want to do. AP Appleberry, Three Kings. That week, the music was not playing loud. There was not no hating. There was no, and Slamming and Jamming, people, you know, they say Slamming and Jamming, they come in and give their opinion. I'm just giving my opinion. Appleberry, ain't nobody fucking with shit. Hey, people really music. Keyboard, little trick to play with that run up the score, nothing to play with. But in my opinion, and my music was also played, people liked it. In my opinion, hey, Appleberry, whole nother level. Shout out to Three Kings, K-Nodge, everybody. But that boy AP, that's a bad boy. So I'm just real excited, y'all. Tomorrow we're going to run the Slamming and Jamming. And we may get, who knows, my man Selfish last week, he was very unselfish and he played everybody's music. He got a project out called A Bad Guy on Apple Music. Y'all check him out. Tomorrow, Slamming and Jamming, who knows? Selfish might go ahead and put some of that bad guy in our face. But Three Kings, Appleberry, last week, none of y'all music, we could hear it in the headphones, they couldn't hear it on YouTube. We're running that back Saturday. We started off with y'all. People, if you submitting your music, come with it. Because that boy Appleberry, boy, he might have you scared to press send. That boy is not effing around. Right now, in my opinion, Appleberry is undisputed, but it's not about a competition about who's the best. It's about slamming and jamming. I didn't hear nothing last week that I would slam, but I would just say, you know, y'all check it out Saturday. Check it, be a listener for a man, AP Appleberry. We out. Slaughta FiT. All right, my IG people, what's